everyone. I need to move my camera slightly. Over a bit. So if you want to comment, you just need to click on the live chat. I'm just going to head over to Facebook and share the stream. So if you want to share, you can click on the share button and you just copy the link, and then you can pop it onto Facebook and Twitter and wherever else you might want to be. I hope the way Facebook's changed profiles. Into Fairy Hug Store. So there's a group on Facebook called Fairy Hug Store, where you can go and see lots of sneak peeks and also share your work, with the possibility that you may get your you might be invited to the design team and you may well get your work shown on TV, which is quite cool. Morning, Susan. So it's a little bit different to Facebook, but you know, if you join the live chat, then I'll keep an eye on the comments and answer any queries that you might have. We are going to be doing some demos, but I want to show you all the new stamps, because there's lots of them. Let's see if we've got a few more people joining in. Alison is the guest design team member for Fairy Hugs for this release, and if you are a member of the Fairy Hugs Store Facebook group, you will have seen lots and lots of samples from Alison on there already, you know, the other regular design team members have been sharing all over the place as well. Hi Debbie, hi Helen, hi Gail, lovely to see you all over here on YouTube. So this is my second live on YouTube. Now that we have over 1,000 subscribers, it's nice to be live over here, and we don't have to deal with Facebook telling me that I can't download my lives, which has been very frustrating in the past. It does mean that we get fewer viewers during the live stream at the moment, but I'm hoping that that will pick up. So should we crack on? Should we have a look at the stamps, the new ones? So as I said, there are 22 new stamps which are launching tomorrow, and you can actually see them all on the Create and Craft website against the shows which are on tomorrow. We've had a bit of a change in the show times. The current times, which I'm assuming will go ahead now, are tomorrow at 11 AM and 3 PM on Create and Craft, and then there's an extra hour at 1 PM on Craft Extra. And the best way, I think, to watch Craft Extra is actually here on YouTube. You just search for Craft Extra TV, and it'll come up and you can watch it there. And that's my preference on how to watch it, because I did try and watch it online, and instead of watching Craft Extra, all it showed me was Create and Craft, which is a bit frustrating. Anywho, so let's go through the stamps. So as I say, the 22 stamp sets sets, and the actual sheet size, which I think is important, is 5, just about 5 by 5.25, something like that. So it's sheet size as in the acetate that you get within there. So they're not A6, and they're a bit bigger than A6, but they're not as big as A5, but they're bigger than what you're used to. And all the stamp sets have between 1 and 3 flowers and a fairy, and sometimes there's a bug in there, so there's a bee or there's a butterfly, so plenty to make a scene. Each is an individual standalone stamp set. There's lots that you can do with each individual set. So this is your first one. This is Callie's Poppy, and I'll show you I've done a couple of samples with this one. I haven't got samples with everything because there's so many of them. So I've done this one here. It's showing it a bit behind there. So we've got this one here, and this is a technique where you put pencils over the top of grey VersaFine, and it's a technique that I picked up from Bonnie, which is really cool. And then this one here, so you don't have to colour in if you don't want to. You can just use coloured ink pads with the magical vines in the background, and look out for this sentiment as well. As I said, there's 5 new sentiments. That's Callie's Poppy. Then this is Becca's Sunflower, 2 sunflowers, and then little Becca who's sitting down. And you'll notice that the skirts on the fairies actually tie in with the actual flowers as well, so they're absolutely beautiful. So that's that one. I've got one stamped out, but I haven't actually coloured that one in. This is Inga's Morning Glory. So there's just 1 flower and 1 fairy on that, but you can see that the fairy is quite a big fairy on this. And again, she's got the ruffles on her skirt, which tie in with the Morning Glory. I've got one sample that I've made with this one. Not done any colouring in with that, just stamped it in Verdant VersaFine Claire. That one. Then we've got Nico's Hydrangea. She's got the little I don't know if you can see, she's got the little hydrangea flowers in her hair. Again, I've not made one with that one, but I've stamped it out. This is Carol's Iris, and I did share a make with this one today, just the 1 stamp, and then beautiful Carol there. And you can see that she's got a little bit of a cutout there on her skirt, and that kind of marries up with the iris. So this is the one that I shared today. Morning, Edith. Again, coloured with the pencils. She is rather beautiful, isn't she? But again, all the flowers you don't actually have to use with the fairy if you don't want to. I've just made this one. This just stamped in black on one of the papers from the Tumble Shine paper pad, which they've put this on the show again, and I do have these in stock on my website. And just in black, and this is one of the sentiments. Again, this is called Some People, which I'll go through nearer the time, but isn't that beautiful? And then we've got Jewel's Orchid. Obviously the orchid is meant to be that way up, and she's got quite a flamboyant pose to her and some magical hair. Again, I've stamped that one out, but I haven't coloured it in. Maggie's Magnolia. This is one of the bigger flowers and the bigger fairies that are in the set. I know Archangel has done a fabulous sample with this one. Hi Bonnie, you're up early. Bonnie is our lead design team member. Super samples from her. Yeah, so Archangel's done a fabulous sample with her. She's a little bit, she's got real good figure on her, and the hair's beautiful, and she's got antennae on her as well, so which reflects the kind of little ends of the petals on the magnolia. Just glorious, absolutely glorious. This is Meadows Marigold, and 2 flowers, and then we've got an extra little tiny flower here. And I've got a tag that I've made with this one. Wait for it to catch up so you can see that I'm actually framed properly. Drop it down a bit. And again, watch out for this sentiment, which is a new sentiment. That's that one. Then we've got Dawn's Fuchsia. Fuchsias are one of my absolute favourite flowers in the garden. Absolutely love fuchsias. And again, I don't know if you can see, but she's got the bottom of the fuchsia flower is her skirt, and the top little bits that kind of fold over, that's the top of her jacket, or bottom of her jacket there. With 3 flowers on here, and I've just used one of the stamps here, and this stamp is Ginger's Tropicals, which is coming up. So that's that one. Talking of Ginger's Tropicals, so we've just seen that, and I've also got it here. So this one you can use either way up, so you can see that you can use it either way up. You can do that with quite a few of them actually, and she's rather lovely. You can see her stamped out here. She's got the little skirt that reflects this particular flower here, and she's also got a little umbrella as well, which means she's going to go very well with the Fairy Rainfall stencil too. And this is on a paper from the Petal Shimmer paper pad. And we've also got, this is Crystal's mum down here, and this is Janie's, what's it called, Marigold at the top there. So you can mix and match them if you want to, but they are standalone sets. Talking of Krista's mum, this one is on the banner on the Fairy Hugs store at the moment, announcing the new release. She is just absolutely beautiful. 2 big flower stamps on that, and as you saw, I used it at the bottom of this here, and I've also made a border and masked off and just stamped here, and popped Krista just on top there, and she's got these beautiful kind of mum skirt on her, just glorious. They are absolutely wonderful. This is Mabel's Lily of the Valley. Now to me, this isn't a Lily of the Valley. Lily of the Valleys have got broader leaves to them, so for me this is a bluebell. You know, it's all down to your own interpretation of what you actually see in it. It's got 2 sizes of the bluebell, and then you've got Mabel. And again, I've stamped her out just really simply on one of the papers from the Tumble Shine paper pad. And you can see she's got a wonderful plait of hair here. And her little skirt just reflects the bottom of, let's call them bluebells there. Really, really simple to do. Doesn't have to be complicated. This is a Layers Peruvian lily. Is it Alstroemeria, something like that, isn't it, the proper name for it? And this one has got the 2 flowers, but you've also got a little bee here as well. So I've used her again very simply, just stamped onto it. This is one of the Tangle Whisper backgrounds. Just added a bit of shading for a moon and grounded it, and I've actually put some gold Stardust pen in with the stamens there. But they're all very achievable, they're all very easy to do. You can see you can take the inspiration just from the layout that you've got on the actual stamp sheet itself and just pop that onto a card, really easy. Then we've got this one. I think daisies are always really popular in the UK, and so I think this is going to be a sellout. The stamps are available individually on Create and Craft. They're all individual on my website and on fairyhugs.com, or they will be when they go on sale. But there are bundles as well that Create and Craft are doing. So whenever there's daisies, we always sell out really quickly. So again, you can see that she's got, let's bring in a sample, she's got a beautiful daisy skirt on her. You've got the individual little daisy petal on this one, so they can be just coming out of your daisies. And obviously this is a little bit more complicated because there's more stamping off of the page to really kind of fill it. But even simply, you could just do, and you've seen at some of Alison's samples, you can just have Zara with just one of the big daisy there, just as is, and that's going to make a lovely card. Your layout's there already on your stamp sheet, so you're good to go straight away. So that's that one. We're getting there. Excuse me. Valerie's Pansy. Now this one looks rather glorious when it's actually coloured in. I haven't stamped this one out yet, so I will rectify that shortly. 3 flowers on this one, plus you can see that she's got that beautiful skirt which reflects the pansy flower, and you've got an extra little butterfly on this one as well. Then we've got Tiger Lily. So yeah, beautiful lily there, and again she's got a little skirt which reflects the actual lilies themselves. Just beautiful. Freya's Dogwood. Then this can be used either way up. You can use it that way up if you want to, and you've got that extra little tiny flower there. Again, really simply onto one of the papers from the Tangle Whisper. Again, added a moon and a bit of ground there, and I stamped it in. This is Purple Delight Versifying Clair, so all I've done is just added in the pink for the little bulbs, whatever they're called, stamens in the centre. Really simple. Then we've got a rose, so we've got Rosalie's Rose, 2 roses on this one, different sizes, and again her skirt reflects the actual rose petals. I've stamped this in 2 different colours at the same time, so I've got I think it's Rainforest, which is the green, and the Purple Delight, and then just added a bit of the watercolour blending brush pens from Sentimentally Yours. What's that one? Then we've got Lilani, difficult name to say, this is going to catch me out. 3 flowers with this one. You've got extra sprigs of a different type of flower behind the peony there. I've stamped this one out, but I haven't coloured it in yet. Janini's Marigold. This is the one that I used on the top of wherever it's gone. Here it is, just on the edge there, so you can see that's crying out for a little bit of colour to add, but I've left that on that one. 3 flowers on that one, and a rather elegant little fairy there with her marigold skirt. Then we've got the water lily. Have you seen Art Angel's sample with this particular stamp? She's added in the bridge and made a lovely river scene of it. So do check out, like I say, the Fairy Hugs store group on Facebook. But once again, if you just take how they're laid out there, pop them on a card. This is a paper from the Winklebush paper pad. So that's all you need to do. You know, pop in this is one of the fairy words, which is new tomorrow as well. That's all you need to do. Just add a little bit of colour. Easy peasy. I do like these. And then we love the daffodil, don't we? So this is Isla's daffodil here. I am going to use this one in today's demo. So that's it. 22 new stamp sets. It's you know, if you want to buy all of them, it's going to be quite a considered purchase. But do remember that I am a stockist in the UK of Fairy Hugs stamps. So even if you can't buy them straight away, they will be available for you to purchase from me whenever you're ready, you know, to build your collection up. So those are all the stamp sets. Let's put those down somewhere. We do also have the, like I say, the 4 paper pads back on the show: Tumble Shine, Shimmer Gust, Tangle Whisper, and so Yeah, Tumble Shine, Shimmer Gust, Tangle Whisper, and Winkle Bush. So we've got all these back on again. We also have some stencils on the show. So we have the Fairy Florals, we have the Magical Vines, and also the Fairy Rainfall. They are all on the show too. And then we've got our new sentiments. Let's pull these out of the way. New sentiments. So we've got fairy words. So we've got bigger words, and then we've got little sentiments in there. Feel better soon, best wishes, happy birthday. We've got sprinkle kindness. Kindness is free, sprinkled, it's everywhere. A lot of people should really live by that. Then we've got some people, which is just beautiful. Some people are so special that once they enter your life, it becomes richer and fuller and more wonderful than you ever thought it could be. This one's wonderful as well. This is incredible. If you could see yourself through my eyes, you would know how incredible you really are. Aww. And then special gift. Your friendship is a special gift, generously given, happily accepted, and deeply appreciated. So those are all the new sentiments. They are just lovely, aren't they? Sentiments are really popular with fairy hugs. So let's crack on and do a demo or two. So what were we going to do? Yes, I think. Right, okay. So we're going to use, first of all, let's find the ones I want. Because they're not where they were now, are they? That one. And we are going to do the daffodil in a bit as well. Pull that one out. In fact, let's start with the daffodil. Always changing my mind. So, again, from the Tumble Shine. All the Tumble Shine papers, and in fact all of them, are double-sided, and there are 24 designs, 2 sheets of each, so 24 is like 12 double-sided sheets, isn't it? And then there's two on. I think I made that far more complicated than I needed to. Excuse me. So I'm still getting over this cough. Okie dokie. So that's my mat. We're going to just do this really simply, just to prove that you don't have to, because it's sometimes when you see how wonderful the samples they are, it can be a little bit scary, and you think, oh, I can't possibly do that. Well, yeah, you can, but you know, if you start simply, then you kind of build up a relationship to your stamp. I mean, this is what we're going to do basically, just how it is on the sheet. Easy peasy. I'm going to stamp them one at a time though, because I find that suits me better, and I'm just going to stamp them in black. So we're going to have it so that the daffodil is coming slightly out of this wonderful circle, and the Tumble Shine has lots of different sizes of circular designs. You could of course do, if you've got a jelly plate, you could actually do a print from a circular jelly plate as well. It's a bit sticky because I've not used it before. Let's move that out of the way. And we are dealing with Nocturne versus Fine Clear, hopefully. Yes, I picked up the black. So you've got some, I don't know if it's jip that you've got here with the daffodils, just to make like a daffodil bouquet. This will be where it moves. Let's put another magnet in there just because I can, and another one there because I like my magnets. Everybody still okay? Don't forget that on YouTube you can just watch it whenever you want to. You can pause when you get your stamps. You can craft along if you want to. I'm just waiting for that to release a bit because it's a little bit sticky because it's new. Let's grab my pokey tool. There we go. It's not too bad for a first impression. Now, always when they're new, or 9 times out of 10, you'll need to stamp them twice. You will find that with the paper pads, because there's ever such a slight coating on them. I mean, they do take the watercolour blending brush pens really well on top, but you will find that a lot of the time, once your stamps have been conditioned, if you like, so that once they've been used once or twice, that a lot of the time, even with silhouette stamps, you only have to stamp them once, because the ink doesn't get sucked up straight away, like with watercolour card. Let's just see if we can get a good impression. It's a big stamp, really big stamp, because it measures, you can see, 4 3/4 inches tall. Big stamp. Let's let go now. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Get rid of some of the ink. And we'll pop the Fairy Isla just on here. So she's just going to come in just like she was. Let's see, it's over that way. Just like she was on the actual stamp sheet. So how easy is this? It's not complicated, is it? I would colour this in, but I'm not going to make you watch me colour this particular thing in. I will show you the, let's just call it the bonnet technique, because I think it's quite useful to see. We'll do that in a little while. She's pretty good. I'm just going to go again, just so that I can get that skirt nice and deep. See, that's first stamping. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's better. And you can see that you've got the, like you've got the daffodil, not the where the trumpet is, but the actual kind of skirt of your daffodil is the skirt of her, and she's got a beautiful kind of beaded bodice there to her. She's almost like a ballerina, isn't she? She's absolutely beautiful. Let's see if I can hold her up so you can actually see. Is that better so you can see her? Isn't she just glorious? And the detail that Fairy Hugs get into their stamps is absolutely tremendous. But obviously, just like with the lily, if you wanted to, so when you're doing your Easter cards, you could just stamp that as an Easter card, Happy Easter, you know, or a spring birthday card. It's lovely that you know, they haven't actually made it so that you have to have a scene, so they haven't included the two stamps, you know, melded them together. Which I really like that. So now let's add one of the sentiments. And I think we might have friendship actually, because I think friendship is quite lovely to have there. Excuse me. I do apologise for my cough. Has no respect. Let's pop that just here. I'm just going to stand up and see that I've got it straight, which of course I haven't. I think that's pretty straight. Do be careful that if you're using the paper pad and you're using VersaFine or VersaFine Clear, that you give the ink a chance to dry. You can force it with your heat tool, but just be careful you don't smudge it. There we go. So, like I say, I will colour in the trumpet. I'll just use my watercolour blending brush pens, but I like to take my time off it over it, and it could be a bit boring if you watch me do that. But look, when you kind of matte and layer it onto black card, bit of colour on there, that's just done, isn't it? You don't actually need to do anything else with it. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm so impressed with these stamps. I was a little bit scared to begin with because there's like 22 sets, but once you get over the fact that there's 22 sets, it's just, I can see myself, you know, if I had some time, I could just sit and just play with them for weeks, actually. Just absolutely tremendous. They've done a wonderful job. Right, so that's that one. So, you know, forgive me for not colouring in, but I don't want to, not in front of you, just because I want to take my time and do it and not smudge it. So, let's go to Ginger. Ginger's Tropicals, because I had an idea, because when I saw that the Fairy Rainfall was actually on the show. So this paper is from the Shimmer Gust paper pad, which is on the show. And I thought that, I mean, it's kind of it's got kind of texture on it. I mean, obviously it's completely flat, but for me it looked like it could be a bit of a stormy sky, because you've got the black clouds coming in here, but it could be you know, where you've got, when you get just before you get a rainbow, so you've got brightness and you've got the stormy stuff as well. You could do it. Yeah. Bonnie's saying that with the 22 sets, you almost have a different flower for each day of the month, with 2 to 4 stamps per stamp. You have enough to do stamp a card each day. Yeah, I know what you mean, Bonnie. Yeah, so you could actually, yeah, do a card each day. So this is the Fairy Rainfall, and I thought if we had this here like that, we could bring in our Ginger here. We can have that comes down there. We're going to have Ginger standing in a puddle there, and then she's going to have her umbrella as well. So anyway, let's get this inked up. Now we're going to go for, I think we're going to go for a distress ink rather than distress oxide, because I don't like stamping on top of distress oxides, because when the ink falls off of the oxide it looks a slightly different colour, if that makes sense. But with distress ink, which is just a dye ink, it doesn't do that. So we're going to go for Villainous Potion, and we're going to have, need to make sure that's down low enough. This is me being impatient. I can take my time when I'm not in front of the camera. I think if I do any inking through stencils on air tomorrow, I'll probably, in fact I won't, I'll do it ahead of time, because I'm keen, because we're 22 flower fairies, and well, we're actually 3 hours now, because we've got the 11 and 3 p.m. on Create and Craft, and then we've got that extra hour on Craft Extra. It's going to be, I'm not going to be able to demo all 22 flower fairies in that time. It's going to take us a long time to show you everything that's on the show, and the design team have made some tremendous samples as well, so we want to make sure that you guys see those as well. So I'll be lucky to get 2 demos done in the hour, I think. So we may only be able to show you 6 of the 22 stamp sets in demo, which is unfortunate, but like I say, do remember to look at the Fairy Hug store for lots and lots of sneak peeks. There's the Fairy Stamper, I believe, on YouTube. Hopefully I've got that name right, Bonnie. So there's loads of YouTube videos on there. I'll do some more videos as well. So you won't be alone. So you know, you can kind of buy with confidence because you won't be abandoned. The design team will start to the social media one, which haven't got the stamps yet, will start to get the stamps, and they will be sharing as well. So you can see there we've got, doesn't that look fabulous on that background paper? Absolutely wonderful. So let's just clear that up. Okay, so now let's go into our stamping platform. So that's the Fairy Rainfall, which is out already. Let's do Ginger's Tropical first. Let's figure out where I want it, the actual ginger. See, again, it gives you an implied, I mean, obviously probably the umbrella's in a different place, but it's already giving you an implied layout with the stamp sheet. So I think what we're going to have it, we're going to have it down there like that, I think, or maybe even not all of it. Let's have it up a bit like that, because then she's going to come in down here. Let's have it. Faff, 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 faff. You can't beat a bit of faffing. Let's put that in there, because obviously it can't go into the corner because my stamp's too big. Let's throw that at that, and let's get that all stamped. I think we might actually do it in Rainforest, which is a green. It will probably look black on the screen, but I know it's green. So this is a Versafine Clair again, but it's a dark green called Rainforest. I do have all the Versafine Clairs in stock on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, but I only ship to UK addresses. Let's pop that in. So this, I think this stamp here is perfect to use just as foliage, because you've got all the tropical leaves on there. There are flowers, but you can use them like foliage. They're not defined flowers. Well, they are, because you can actually put ink on them and colour them in, but you can get away with just calling them foliage. I don't think I'll just go again just to make sure. Let's hope it didn't move. A bit late now, isn't it? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so bit inconvenient, Grace, having visitors when there's a live, isn't it? Doesn't matter. It's there for you to watch whenever, and I don't have to upload it or anything because it's there. Right, okay. So that's Ginger's Tropicals. I mean, you could have it, you know, you could stamp it again. In fact, might we? Let's have a little bit more up there, actually. Let's do that. Right, let's pull this down. Always evolving. Right, so I'm going to just use a piece of acetate there. just in case there's still ink on my stamp. And I'm going to just bring it so that I've got some more foliage coming in there like that. Let's pick that up. Remember to take away the acetate. And we're coming again with the rainforest. So we're making like a canopy of foliage. Okay, that's good. So now it looks like that. Cool. So remember to share away with your friends so they can find my YouTube channel. As we will be doing lots of lives on here, and obviously still putting other videos up. So let's bring our ginger into the little puddle that she's in. Now, am I going to be able to get her umbrella in? Ooh, just about. Let's just throw all the magnets at it. I like my magnets. And she's going to be in black, Nocturne. So she's quite prominent. I mean, obviously she's got the umbrella in her stamp set, but you don't have to use that. Oh, doesn't do her feet very well. That's better. I do have my stock here already, so when it goes live on my website tomorrow night at midnight, I'll do my best to send stuff out on Tuesday. I'm a little bit concerned about the heat that we're going to get here on Tuesday. Well, Monday and Tuesday. I'm assuming it's going to be safe to drive. Who knows? Whether the roads will melt. Let's hope not. But yeah, bear with me. I do, like I say, I do have everything in stock, and I'll do my best to send stuff out as quickly as possible. I am expecting a new franking machine to arrive because mine's been broken. So setting that up might be a bit of a nightmare, as it always is. So just beware. I am doing my best. So there we've got her little umbrella. I think it's one of them magical umbrellas, and she has to call it, a bit like Thor's hammer. You know, so she has to call it, and it's on its way into her hand at the moment. What do you reckon? I think that's it. I think that's the case. So she's in the puddle. So we've used all 3 stamps from here. We've used no other stamps, just used a stencil and a background paper, and that's it. Back on there properly. That's it. I was going to drive me around the twist. So let's bring in the sentiment on here as well. I would probably add in some colour on her her fairy wings as well. I might even, I don't want to do any grounding though, because she's in a puddle. So just ignore the fact that I'm whittering on here. I wonder if we can get kindness in. I don't know if we can. Looks a bit odd there, so we won't have that. What we'll do is we'll bring in some fairy words, which has got lots of different sizes in here. We can have happy birthday. Yeah, let's have happy birthday. It's quite a funky font. And we'll do that in black as well. The wind could be blowing it out of her hand, yes. Quite magical. There we go. Happy birthday. So once again, I'll probably edge it with a bit of oxide as well, but once you put it onto your black card, it almost feels like a bit of a mixed media piece, when of course it is, because I've used a stencil as well. Hi Archangel. So there's two that I need to finish off. So I did mention the because some of the stamps are open, in that you can colour them in. So for example, on the daffodil we could colour that in. So let's find one. Okay, so that's a solid. So it's a proper silhouette stamp. So it's very hard for you to add colour onto that. As is though. They're solids, okay? That's what I mean by solids. Then you've also got the likes of the Alstroemeria and the Daisy, which are open, so you've definitely got areas that you can easily colour in, okay? But what do you do if you want to actually colour that in? How do you stamp it? Well, there's a couple of different ways of stamping it, isn't there? So let's just do this one. So let's just grab not thought this through, this is just happening. However, let's grab from, this is from the Tangle Whisper. Let's grab what colour should we go for? Oh, that's quite a nice one, isn't it? Let's go for that one. So obviously I've not trimmed this down at all. We're just going to see how it looks. So this is your Maggie's Magnolia. And again, you've got your layout there straight away. Easy peasy. I've not used this before. Just be careful when you take them off the acetate the first time. So let's pop her or it down there. So if I want to use, say, let's bring out Charming Pink and Shady Lane. So we want to have a pink magnolia. So just clean off the ink from the leaves. But I do need to have, oh no, that'll be brown. Oh, won't be brown, it's green. Get your greens and browns sorted, Julia. So now we're just stamping the flower. This is one of the beauties of having a stamping platform, because your stamp is in the same place, as long as it doesn't move, obviously. And it's a little bit sticky because I've not used this one before. Okay, so if you do find that you've got like pools where your ink is pooled, that's just because it's a new stamp. So you know, you can cream your stamp off and go again with your ink. I do want to do it a second time anyway. So again, we'll clean off the pink from the leaves. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit. Okay. Then we're going to do the green, so we're going to do the leaves. And it doesn't matter too much if there's something where it shouldn't be. Although I don't want it boxy like that, so again, go in with your kitchen roll, clean off the ink where you don't want it. I'm not too worried if there's a little bit at the bottom of the bud there, because you would get a bit of greenery at the bottom of where the bud opens. So that's how you can get your multicolours, by just selectively pulling it out. It's obviously pulling the ink off. It's obviously, you know, depending on the stamp, sometimes it can be really complicated if you're dealing with a small design. The Magnolia is a big stamp, so it's easy for you to do that. And then obviously just to complete this, I would trim this down a bit. We can put let's not make too much of a mess of it. Let's grab one of our circle stencils. Okay. And bring in a bit of a, move that out of the way. Magnets playing with each other. Let's go for that villainous potion again. Stay. And just drag the ink over the edge. So you've got a bit of a moon going on, or yeah, a bit of a sun, whatever you want to call it. You've got something going on, a circle going on. And then we'll bring in our Maggie, like that. And stamp her in black. Yes, let's all encourage Art Angel to make some videos. Where's my black gone? There it is. No, it's not, it's pink. There's my black. Oh, for heaven's sake, Julie, put things back in the right place. And so this one's, she's got a beautiful figure. very envious of her figure. And she's got like either a hairband or antennae, however you want to call them, coming out of her hair. And she's got the lovely kind of swirly bits of the magnolia coming out of her skirt. And I would add, again, just colour her wings in to coordinate using the watercolour blending brush pens. Remember, she's not been stamped before. This is the first stamping of her. So, do make sure your ink pad's nice and juicy. Either re-ink it or buy a new pad, because it does make life easier rather than having to stamp something over and over and over again. Just make sure it's nice and juicy. So there we are, there she is. And then we can bring in one of the sentiments. Let's have the kindness. Sprinkle kindness. I'll probably just cut it down just a wee bit. Wasn't intending to do this, but once you've started, you have to kind of finish, don't you? Black. There we go. I might even add something down here. I don't know. I might think about it. Once I've chopped it down, I might add something else. But that's one way you can actually colour a solid image, by doing your selective inking. That's that. Another way is to do this thing with your pencils. So let's grab, not over there, over here. Grab a little tag. Dirty fingers. Right, so this is just a little tag. It's not very big. It is 4 1/4 inches tall, so it's not very big at all. I don't want that colour yet. Let's go for this colour. I don't know what colour I want. Right, so let's take another one of the solids. Choose one, Julie, for heaven's sake. I need to have one that's small enough. Will she fit? Yes, she will. Right, okay, so these are your Taylor's Tiger Lily. So I want to have her, I want this one, so she can sit on there. So we're going to have the lilies coming off of the page like that. So I'm losing my voice. And she's going to sit on the edge there like that. So this is super smooth watercolour card. and it's got Distress Oxide sprays on it. It's got, this is Shabby Shutters and Saltwater Taffy, I believe. And we're looking for, don't want those back. Morning Mist, Versafine Clear. I found that I've not got on well with doing this on the paper pads. I find it's easier on the watercolour card, and the Super Smooth is just perfect from Sentimentally Yours. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, you could do the selective inking on this quite easily. It's not that tiny. You could work with that. Okay. So there's our lily. This will be your last demo. Reading your comments. Let's get Art Angel onto YouTube. That's what we want. Right, so I've got this thing about fairies with airy legs. And it happens sometimes when you use Versafine Clear and stamp another image on top of it, of the Versafine Clear stamped image, sorry, Brian. And because the ink is wet, the ink starts to travel down the first image, so it looks like the fairy's got airy legs. I can't stand that, it drives me nuts. So I'm just giving this Versafine Clear a good old blast. It should be alright anyway, because it's grey and black, but I found it's mostly when, if I've been stamping the backgrounds, and I've done it in like yellows and oranges and whatever, and reds, and then I've stamped in black, then the black has travelled down the line art that's in the colours, and it just drives me nuts. I can't stand it. I hate it. Right, so now we're going to bring in our Taylor. Is she called after Taylor Swift, do you think? And she's going to be sat perched on the top of the lily there, I think. How are we going to do it? I do want to make sure that her legs are on something, so she's not hovering. Let's have a look. Let's see what that looks like. Another magnet. And she's going to be in black. Wherever I put it. There. I might lose a little bit of definition from her skirt, but it is black on top of grey, so we should be alright. We will need to go a second time though. Okay, so that looks fine, doesn't it? Okay, so she's perched on top of the tiger lily there. I always forget that the magnet's going to do that. And then we'll just add a sentiment, and then I'll show you the colouring. I'm not going to colour this one because I want to leave it to properly dry. So this one I'd probably colour in tomorrow. So we just grab one of the little sentiments from the fairy words. So we could probably get hello in there. Ooh, and smile. Let's have smile. Everybody should smile. Smiling makes everybody feel better. There we go. So there's our tag. So where's our back bit? So obviously when that's coloured in, that's going to make it. They'd make great little bookmarks, but you can see that you don't have to do big projects. You can do little projects. I mean, that works as it is. You don't have to colour it in if you don't want to, but I am gonna just quickly show you how to do it. I won't do the whole thing because I've got a few that I've got this stage and I haven't coloured them in yet. Right. Now I'm just doing this really basically. I'm not in the kind of expertise of Lou Withers or indeed Bonnie. So I've got well, come here. This one, much the same thing, but this is your Nico's hydrangea. And Lou made me buy these once when I was in the studio at the same time as her. So these are my Faber-Castell polychromos. I do find that actually 36 isn't enough, and I actually need more colours. But you know, I've only just started using them. So for this one, we've got the line art in grey, just like I've just stamped, and we can actually pop the polychromos on top to give colour. So if we wanted a blue hydrangea, say, let's see if this is the one I want. That's quite a nice blue, isn't it? Or do I want to go for that one? No, let's go for the darker one. And so all you need to do is colour on top of the image itself where it's grey. So what you're using the grey as your line art, if you like. You're colouring in surface, and so if you just, I mean, you can do it so you've got different colours and you can shade. Hopefully, I mean you can see what I'm doing. If you want to, but I'm really basic with this, and to be honest, from a distance you don't actually need to colour in any better than this. Sometimes I go outside the lines. That's more to do with the fact that I've got varifocals and I can't see what I'm doing most of the time. But can you see how just adding the pencil on top makes all the difference? So we're going from grey to this lovely blue. I mean, I could have chosen the pink, because hydrangeas are pink as well, aren't they? Pink or blue normally. But I found that when I go on top of the line art on the pattern papers, because they're slightly coated, the pencil doesn't take as well. I don't really like it, but that's just my, I mean, that's my opinion right now. There could be something that you use to make it flow better. I don't know, but can you see how that's coming together? And I mean, we can take one of the greens. I haven't done swatches for these yet. And I mean, here you've got an open image anyway, so most of the time I would probably go for my watercolour blending brush pens instead, and just keep my pencils from going on top of the line art. But if you've only got one thing or the other, then you can just do it all in pencil if you want to. And here I probably would bring in some other colours as well, give it a bit of depth, because the grey gives you a bit, keep that out so I know which one I'm using. The grey gives you a bit of depth with the colour. You can imagine I'd get really carried away doing this. So without further ado, I'm going to call this demo to a close. So just to recap, there are 22 new Fairy stamp sets launching tomorrow on Create and Craft. The show times are 11 AM and 3 PM on Create and Craft, and then there's an hour extra on Craft Extra. And from my opinion, the best way to watch it is actually here on YouTube. So you just search for Craft Extra or Craft Extra TV and it'll pop up, and that's the easiest way to watch. When I've tried to watch it on the website, it's just shown me Create and Craft, so I found that a little bit frustrating. So yes, so and the stamps will be available in a massive bundle or bundles of 3 or 4, or individuals. When they go live on my website tomorrow night at midnight, they'll all be available as individuals. I have them in stock downstairs at the moment, so I can send them out straight away, but please be patient because it's hot, and also I'm getting a new franking machine, so I've got to try and set that up. So yeah, just be a bit patient with me. But you can see I'm getting quite carried away here with my colouring in. It is really effective, you know, just going over the line art that you've got in grey with some colour. So that's where we're at so far. So I hope you've enjoyed this demo, and I will see you tomorrow on the telly box. And please make sure that you go and join the Fairy Hug Store website, Facebook page, for lots and lots of sneaky peeks. And do remember that we love to see your work on there, and you will have the chance, if your work is shared, you might have the chance to join the design team for one of the launches. I'm going to sit here now, and I'm going to colour in, and I will share the finished pieces in the Fairy Hug Store group. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.